Hey everybody, welcome back to Dragon Ball Z Budokai. We're beginning the Namek Saga today.
We're going to be here for another 3 months.
Do tell, do tell.
They put way too much effort into Bulma's hair and Bulma's hair alone, just for that one.
Bulma, I think, has like 4 different models in this game.
Well, because she keeps changing her look.
You need to sell more merchandise for the female characters. The only way to do that is to give them a new
probably why
hairstyle.
she became like a playable character you can hack into the game.
Look, you said. Avast ye an anime character who changes clothes from day to day like a normal human.
Actually, going back to what John was saying, apparently Bulma was supposed to be playable in a Videl-like sense at some point, because there's footage of her actor doing like grunts and yells and like the making of features, and there's a file for her.
There is a in-game model for her that you can see in the tutorial sequence. I think in Budokai 2.
That would have been fun, actually.
Yeah, it would have been a good joke character at the very least.
Yeah.
So why didn't they give Goku a senzu bean right away?
Korin didn't have any.
Because they weren't. Yeah, Korin didn't grow them yet.
Reminds me
Because
of,
apparently senzu beans take a long fucking time.
It kind of reminds me of the joke character that they were going to try and put in the original Persona 4 Arena. Atlas said no, but you were going to be able to play as Detective Dojima. And I think, like, Nanako was supposed to be his support or something. It was dumb. It would have been funny to have, but Atlas made sure they stuck to characters that made sense for the story. So,
Well, part of the fun of well, I guess in Persona 4's case, that game is trying to be canon, so you can't really do as much. But part of the fun of fighting games is dumb stuff like that, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, the thing about Persona 4 Arena and Arena Ultimax, though, is that Atlas, I think, wrote the story for the first Arena game, but it was Arc System Works that wrote the story for the second Arena game, which is why things got a bit dumb during the second game.
Is that the one that added all the Persona 3 characters, or...?
Oh yeah, they already had.
Vegeta, stop!
They already had a couple Persona 3 characters in the first game. They added basically the rest of the surviving cast into Ultimax.
Goku, you're talking to yourself again.
He's hearing voices in his head. Sounds remarkably like King Kai.
King Kai, this is the worst way to tell Goku not to do something. You're better off just not telling him about it at all.
Really strong person. I want to fight him, Goku. You're not supposed to. I want to fight him.
I'm disappointed there's no minigame where you have to redirect your spaceship to avoid flying into a sun.
So
and using Kaioken times infinity.
Yeah. So I was
which makes no fucking sense.
I was always kind of confused by Frieza when I saw him because at that time I understood that like anime never drew anyone's lips unless, well, in Akira Toriyama's case,
they were female.
Well, female or black basically. In Akira Toriyama's case, because for some reason all the black people in Dragon Ball have like really big, thick lips. Because I guess
it's called racism.
Basically yes. Which is why the 4Kids version of Kai tried to turn Popo blue.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I was so used to seeing lips in anime only on women because for some reason men had no lips. So
which I think was the only reasoning why Frieza originally had a female voice actress.
Yeah,
Linda Young, yeah.
Because they saw the lips and they're like, oh, it must be female.
Well, they do that on purpose. They want him to make him look feminine because he's got that, like, foppishness kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Which I do appreciate the original style of Frieza because he's an alien. He's not going to sound exactly like you think a evil or overlord would. So it creates a bit of contrast on expectations versus what he's actually capable of.
It's also
not to say I dislike Chris Ayers. Chris Ayers is fantastic. I'm just saying I can see reason for both.
Although that's also
Chris Ayers is my favorite.
That's also why I really like Frieza's final form a lot too, because as he makes his second and third form, he gets more and more traditionally monstrous, and his final form's like the smallest and seemingly most powerless-looking form, and it's actually his most powerful one. Well,
second most powerless-looking one, because his first form is freaking
His first one's got spikes, man. Those are dangerous.
He's got horns. He's got horns.
It's a midget.
They're the same size, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, actually, technically, Frieza's final form is a bulked-up version of the thin one you're thinking of, but
But now it's gold.
No. Well, now it's gold, which is dumb. But okay.
No, I like it. I like it because it's essentially his fuck you to the Saiyans. You know, it's like it's a Super Saiyan that killed them. So he's like, you know what, I'm gonna because apparently he can control the form's color at will. And he went golden because.
Man, it's a good thing that his species physiology managed to match his ego. Gosh, God forbid if it made sense.
Gold is a little gauche, but it's fitting.
Okay, so
the first time you play the game, you have to do those boring training sequences, and the second time you play the game, you actually follow the story.
No, more like what happened there was I'm intersplicing Vegeta's side of the story now.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like the thing about early Dragon Ball arcs is that Goku doesn't actually do all that much. So if you only play Goku's side of the story, you're missing like 70% of it.
Yeah, easily.
So all the other characters get the interesting plot points. Goku just shows up at the end and fights the bad guy.
Yeah, Goku shows up and does a Superman thing.
Basically. Yeah, this is
the Dragon Balls are clearly 2D.
I still like Frieza's little Eggman.
These
capsule.
balls, I want to caress them.
I still like Frieza's little Eggman capsule.
What cast is you doing the voice for this? Is this the first?
This is original Funimation.
This is early Funimation.
Okay, and yes. Ocean was the dub before that, right?
Yes. That's the one with like almost all the memes.
Okay.
I forgot that the
over 9,000. I love these balls. I want to caress them.
If I didn't want to risk getting a copyright strike from Toei Animation, I would have edited the sequence of Raditz spaceship flying towards the Earth again after Goku lands and finishes off Recoop.
God damn it, not again!
For years, I mean, just to put it in our perspective, you know...
We grew up in the mid-90s, so...
We grew up in the mid-90s and late 90s, back when Dragon Ball Z, before it was even on Toonami, it was on, like, Kids WB and shit. And the Ocean dub only covered up to episode 52, which was after Goku lands, he defeats Recoome and starts fighting Jason Birder. After that, it goes right back to the beginning of the series. And for like 2 years, I'm wondering, when the fuck are we going to get to the fireworks factory?
And then we finally did, and it was amazing.
Yeah, we finally did, but they replaced the Ocean dub with the Funimation cast, and whew, I gotta say...
That was a change at the time.
Early Funimation cast is back when they were trying to replicate the Ocean dub voices, and holy shit. Like, I am so glad they went their own way after a while. Because that was pretty painful to listen to.
The Funimation cast has been the same since then, though, and they've redubbed the show like 6 times, haven't they?
Yeah, they redubbed it. They redubbed the original series for the DVD releases. They did it again for Kai.
And not to mention all the retellings from video game adaptations.
Yes.
Although,
and
Goku's gone super. Sancho Mills had to do Goku going Super Saiyan like 20 times at this point.
Yes.
I forgot that Zarbon had a transformation mechanic.
And nobody cares because it's Zarbon.
You see, I get what you're talking about having similar rigs, though, because Monster Zarbon barely looks bigger than how he's supposed to look. It's just like, that's him after his freshman year of college. That's not really all that different.
He had too many donuts that year.
It's a freshman 15. Fuck, you had a freshman 60.
Yeah, that's just him after he hasn't gone to the gym for a couple of months. That's not a transformation.
Yeah. So, a thing about transformations in this game, one that kind of annoys the hell out of me, is that you need a certain amount of bars to even trigger a certain transformation. For Goku's case, say you need at least 3 bars of ki. to activate Kaioken ×2 and so on and so forth. Your meter begins constantly draining though once you're in a form. The problem is that once you're below a certain threshold, in Super Saiyan's case, you need at least 5 bars. Once your bar goes below 5 and you hit the ground, you automatically de-transform into the lower state. So you go back to like Kaioken ×10 or some shit like that. And it's annoying as hell.
Yeah, in 2 or 3 you stay in that form until you use up all your energy and then get knocked down.
Yes.
So you're not in Super Saiyan very much in this game, is basically what you're saying.
No.
Because it has such a high threshold to reach, and
You're not going to be keeping it for very long.
Your energy drains so fast.
Toku Sentai! Toku Sentai!
Do they have all of them in this, or...?
The only ones playable are Captain Ginyu and Raccoon.
Okay, so...
Oh, but they do have all of them, though. That's cool, I guess.
Yeah, they're all here.
My personal headcanon for this, which might actually be canon depending on whether or not the writer thought of it, is that, like, a satellite footage from Earth showed Sentai, and these guys picked it up and thought it was really cool, so they decided to imitate it.
Yeah, we can do
If
that.
I remember correctly, NASA is beaming signals into space just in case, and, like, the only 2 things they beam are, like, Beatles songs and mathematic formulas. So it would be far more likely that they would just be, like, some hippie 60s band. Instead of
Also,
Power
like, having
Rangers.
satellite... Also, everyone having access to, like, satellite TV and Earth is perfectly... It explains perfectly why everyone can speak English. So,
Fun fact, John Shamil actually initially, since the Ginyu Force are here, actually tried out for Captain Ginyu. Because he saw
Really?
Captain in the name and thought he was important. And thus he would be around a long time. Because obviously, this was, mid-90s. You don't really have internet or access to, who the characters are and all that. You just get a call sheet for the characters that are open and say, oh, this guy's a captain. He must be important and stick around a while.
Doesn't Ginyu stay alive for a really long time, though, as a frog?
up until the end of
Frieza.
No, I don't say up until the end. Up until the Frieza stuff in Super.
Yeah, because, like,
Yeah,
isn't he
I mean,
on Earth as a frog forever?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter, but yes, I guess.
He hasn't
is.
swapped his bodies with anybody else since, though?
He
No.
can't. He can't speak.
He needs
he
to
can't
be able
speak.
to say the word, apparently. I mean, there was a filler. There was a filler story where he switched with Bulma for a little while.
No, that's not filler. That's canon.
Oh, was it?
Well, filler doesn't
it's
necessarily
super-
mean that it's
super,
not canon. It just means it's a waste of time, is the thing.
Well, yeah, but when you talk about Dragon Ball Z,
Super
filler usually
brings
means stuff
mention to
that,
it. So yeah, it's not so. It's either Ginyu needs to say the word himself, or he needs whoever he's about to switch bodies with to say the word change. Because the way he changes bodies with that general guy in Super is that he has him say the word change while he's in front of him, and he's able to switch bodies.
Huh. I do gotta wonder, like, what was Ginyu's first body?
That is an interesting thing to think about, because who's to say like the purple horn
it's always
body is his
implied
original
that
body?
Ginyu's been alive for a long time, but he's just been switching bodies to more and more powerful ones.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on a moment. Doesn't Vegeta have pants normally? Because doesn't he normally have like underwear outside of his pants like Superman, and it wasn't in that past cutscene.
No, it was always the
he
blue
never-
thing.
Okay.
It was
Oh,
always-
well, it looks weird. He
What
should be
you're
wearing
what you're-
underwear
what
over
you're
his pants.
thinking of, what you're thinking of, Ted, is the little like armor plating that hang on the waist.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like I'm watching Man of Steel and just like, what's up with the bottom side of your body? It looks weird. Change it, please.
It looks oddly naked,
Yeah.
despite the fact that he's wearing clothing of some capacity. But yeah, in the Saiyan Saga is the only time where Vegeta had the armor that had the little platings hanging on the waist side.
Alright, Man of Steel was just trying to give the ladies a little fan service, because we've been watching superheroines wear that kind of clothing since like the 90s or before.
Yeah,
that.
but
Probably
at least
before that.
female superheroes have attractive, sexy outfits. I'm not against sexy men. I just want them to be good sexy.
Are you a good judge of that then?
I don't know. Everything in life should cater to me because I'm a selfish asshole like that. So wait, are we on real Namek or fake Namek right now?
Real Namek.
We're on real.
Did
Namek.
Goku go to fake Namek too, or real Namek?
No. Thankfully, no. That would have been another 20 episodes.
They spend 20 episodes on fake Namek?
No,
That's like 5.
Dragon Ball Revelations
I think it's
2.
like 3 or 4.
You get one storyline following characters, and then you get another storyline about the characters who are following those characters going through the same levels.
You did very well. I'm proud. You fought hard.
Too bad you all suck compared to me.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have our real fight with Raccoon, whose name rhymes with Doom.
Oh, you can see his butt.
Well, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah, no, it's a little shocker for me because, you grew up with the Ocean dub, they edited it out, obviously.
They edit out his butt.
So when I catch the funny, because of,
Broadcast
television,
TV, yeah.
Broadcast TV.
Yeah, but Dragon Ball has, like, Gohan's straight up naked in Dragon Ball Z at some points, and they show his junk in that. Like,
They cut around those parts.
they cut around. Okay, because I remember seeing on TV, like, I did watch an episode or so of Dragon Ball on TV, and they definitely still had, like, Goku's junk hanging around in those episodes.
Well, yeah, all like 2 little squiggle lines of it.
Yeah, but still, that'll
It's still penis and
that'll
balls.
scar the children, Lewis.
It's not very detailed. In fact, I'm pretty sure, like, if you ever were at that phase in your life where you were sketching dicks in your notebook at school, yours were more detailed than the ones in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, you draw little hairs on it because,
All right, so the thing is, I actually did a little, fun editing there because you're supposed to fight Raccoon again as Goku. We already did it with Vegeta, so...
Well, I saw an opening,
Callback
so
again.
that said hit me, so I did.
Vegeta, you take the one on the left, all right?
Man, I like how the Ginyu Force gradually devolves into posing that even Sentai wouldn't be caught dead doing.
By the way, Vegeta, is your armor even doing anything at this point?
the armor doesn't do anything in Dragon Ball, though.
The armor is
That
an
never
interesting
does.
concept in that it's supposed to be protective gear that can resize itself based on your body, which makes sense for the Saiyans since they can turn into giant fucking monkey things. And my assumption is that Frieza's empire took this technology from the Saiyans and co-opted it and made it their own. Because it doesn't make much sense for most of Frieza's people to have this kind of gear.
Well, I guess you just need to make it once. You just need to make one kind, and then it fits everyone.
Yeah. But it makes more sense as something the Saiyans invented because their modus
I don't
operandi
think it was a
involves-
Saiyan invention. I think it was, because one of the things they kind of elaborate on in early Dragon Ball Z was that Planet Vegeta was home to both the Saiyans and the Tuffles. And
right,
back
yeah.
then, the
Saiyans
Saiyans
wiped them out.
were savages, and they wiped them out. But later on, they would start using the Tuffles technology.
Yeah,
And-
like Goku's father, who was a brilliant
Brilliant
scientist.
scientist!
Why did they bring that up, for the record?
That was a random line from the Ocean
Yeah,
dub.
I think that was no, because episode of Bardock was already a thing by Ocean Dub, but it's more like I don't. Maybe they thought
They didn't
we're
know
never
about
gonna
it.
dub this, so fuck it. He's a scientist.
That's yeah.
Which, by the way, speaking of the Ocean dub, I'm so glad they brought Brian Drummond back.
Brian
in the
Drummond
last
back as Copy Vegeta is
was
brilliant.
And he's still bringing the fire in his
Yeah,
voice.
that guy never lost his voice. Period. Remarkable. It's weird because when I think of scrawny evil Vegeta, it has to be Brian Drummond. I love Christopher Sabat, I do. But like everything post Saiyan Saga, I'm fine with. But I
Saiyan Saga, it has to be Brian Drummond.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Now, I did actually like this part where he injures himself before changing bodies to cripple to cripple Goku once he's there.
Well, that's a good strategy. If you can get it to work.
and if you don't miss after punching a hole in your body.
Yeah.
Spoil all the fun. Vegeta, go ahead and finish this Ginyu. I'll take care of the winner.
You wouldn't.
Oh, so now
Our
you
plague
actually
is
have
cat-
to play as Ginyu. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's neat.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have much utility at this fight.
I just love that you don't know Goku doesn't know how to fight how he normally does anymore.
Yeah.
He can't use any of his normals.
And maybe that's why one of the attacks is called Parmesan Strike, because fuck, he's hungry right now.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Ginyu has the same problem in the show with Goku's body. He doesn't know how to power up with Goku.
He doesn't know how to do Kaioken or anything like that. And, back when power levels were a thing, God.
Well, power levels were never supposed to be a thing.
That
was always the point.
It was a joke that got out of hand.
Yes.
It was always supposed to be like, oh, we're going to underestimate these people because they don't have the right power level. It wasn't ever supposed to mean anything.
I think Toriyama's biggest regret might be the damn Scouters.
Yeah.
Which
is why everyone stops using them after Frieza.
Yeah, but they look so cool.
Well,
yes, they do.
Well, people stopped using the Scouters, but they didn't stop talking about power levels. They could magically sense it all now.
Yeah, like Vegeta just.
Well, no, they were always able to sense power. It was just that you couldn't really. The problem was quantifying it.
Well, yeah. I mean, now they didn't have to attach a number to things.
Yep.
Now, it's my only chance.
Now I've got your power.
Yes. I get to keep the Scouter though, right?
This thing's neat.
Yeah.
Goku's hair is broken. Oh no, he should get a splint for that.